Welcome to the Dollar Bets podcast, your home to free money sports betting.
All right, everybody, Dollar Bets Super Bowl edition, or I don't know if we're allowed to say that. They might sue us, but I don't think we have enough listeners for them to sue us, so I don't think we have to worry about that. So big game, Super Bowl, whatever. How you doing, Debo?
Doing good. Not really looking forward to the Super Bowl as much as I was last year.
It's not the People's Super Bowl. It is the
two teams I don't really like, but I'm going to root for the Eagles. So
yeah, I don't know.
We don't want to
hard time.
Well, I know you as a Patriots fan, you don't want to see a three-peat.
I don't want to see Mahomes all this GOAT talk. You know, Brady's the GOAT. We all know that. We don't need to. We don't need to see Mahomes and Brittany Mahomes talking about that. So yeah, we'll just put that to rest. Yeah. And Brady beat Mahomes head to head. So we'll leave it at that and we'll move on. And I hate the Eagles, but yeah. Anyway. Let's talk a little bit about last week. It's been a while. We're a little late in this podcast, week and a half in, but we got to give some updates on last week. So let's go over our last week's lock of the week. How'd you do, Debo?
Lock of the week was really bad, but it's really good if you're fading me. So lock of the week, it was a Bills Commanders teaser, +8 and +12.5. Commanders obviously did not get there. Bills covered the +8. But yeah, on a teaser, you need both to hit to cash the bet.
Sorry about that one.
What about yours?
I had over in the Commanders Eagles. So that one hit. We got a hit there, but easy hit. Yeah, they've been. Both teams were scoring a lot, so that one hit. That was good news for the week.
That hit before halftime.
It was pretty close. I mean, that was an early hit on that one. They scored a lot in that game.
Nice call.
All right, last week's parlay of the week. How do you do, Debo?
I did not hit the parlay of the week. Grizzlies. I threw the Grizzlies in there, -11. They ended up winning by 15 plus. I forget, but that cashed. Bills +3 pushed. It was believe they lost. Yeah, they lost by 3. That pushed. Commanders +7. I bought a point. They got blown out in the fourth quarter. Did not hit my parlay. The thing about parlays, brother, you got to hit them all to cash your parlay. So
you got to hit them all. Agreed. And I'm in the same boat with you on my parlay this week or last week. I had Bills +2, which they needed 3 to push, 4 to win. That didn't hit. At Commanders, I bought a point at +7. That didn't hit either. So 0 for 2 on that. And the preview, I had the Lakers the night before, 1.5. That hit easily. So I was going into the weekend onto Sunday thinking, oh, yeah, I got this locked up. And as you said, it wasn't even close. I won the last week, but not this week. So parlay of the week was pretty bad. 1 out of 3. My worst parlay of the week on dollar bets so far, but we got some good picks for you coming up. All right, let's go to player props from last week.
Player props from last week. All right, I started the day off great. I had Saquon over 23.5 longest rush. Okay, he hit that on his first play of the Philadelphia Eagles offense. It was a 60-yard touchdown to the house. Yeah. So I'm loving it. I'm like, oh, this is going on. This is great. So that I cashed that one. Saquon over 12.5 receiving yards. He ended with 4. He only had 1 catch. I thought Washington, they have the 5th highest blitz rate, and I thought they were just that Jalen was gonna have to dump it off to Saquon. He only got 1 target, and it was for 4 yards, so did not hit that. Travis Kelce, over 71.5 receiving yards. Did not hit that again. I'm always on the wrong side. Always on the wrong side of Kelce. Whether I bet is over, he goes under. When I bet is under, he goes over. So stay tuned because I might bet is over later. And then I gave you 4 props. Mahomes' longest rush was over 12.5 yards. His first drive for Kansas City, Mahomes scrambles for 12 yards. And I needed 13. And he goes out of bounds. It was a tough beat because he also scrambled for 11 yards the third quarter. And he scrambled for 10 yards in the fourth quarter. So that was a tough beat. So 1 and 3.
1 and 3. Yeah.
Back to you.
Close. I started with Jalen Hurts. I thought, with his knee, he was going to get over 31.5 rushing yards. He did not hit that. That was not good. As you know, I go opposite you sometimes, and I took under on 70.5 receiving yards for Kelce.
Very nice.
That one was pretty easily hit. He didn't have a great game. I mean, they weren't targeting him a lot. And then I had Dallas Goedert for over 41.5, which also hit. So 2 out of 3.
2 and 1. 2 out of 3. 2 and 1. Yeah.
2 out of 3. So not terrible. Overall, I was about 500 on the day. Not bad, not great, but like I said, it's a free program, but we've got some fire bets for you. And if you've been following along on the Insta, just been posting some great picks here. Had hit 2 parlays today. Hit a 3-team NCAA parlay. Hit a 3-team player props parlay. So it was a nice night for me. Looking to cash out Fliff. Soon. I'm 1 bet away from cashing out Fliff. Speaking of Fliff, for those of you that are new here, this is the $1 Bets Blanton's Challenge. So let me give you a quick preview of that.
The $1 Bets Blanton's Challenge is a year-long competition between Matt and Debo. Here are the rules. We only use 5 free money sports books: Fliff, Thrills, Rebet, Sportzino, and Novig. You cannot deposit any money. The person that withdraws the most amount of money in 2025 wins the bottle of Blanton's. Here are the current standings.
All right, no updates this week on the Blanton's Challenge. Got close on Rebet. Tried to cash out. Missed 1 leg of the parlay when Notre Dame lost last night. That would have put me over to cash out for the 3rd time on Rebet. Novig, again, lowering our money for the month. Pretty weak. Went from $30 to $20 a month to now $10, so they keep lowering it. But we'll try and cash that out soon. How you doing on your free bets? Anything in there?
Yeah, I got close on Fliff. I had my account to 20. Forget what I lost it on. I mean, I got a few bets. All I need is Eagles money line on Sportzino. I'll be close to cashing out there. But
okay.
You are still on pace for a great year, so I wouldn't worry about whatever you got going because you're on pace for $1,200 still.
Yeah, but new month, you feel it's a couple days in the month, and at least I got my Flip. I need to hit that. Rebet, I was sure I had that, but anyway,
I had my Thrills up to $20, and I forget what I did. It was some NBA parlay, did not hit, but yeah, I'm just not getting there. But we will.
I followed you on the Warriors tonight, and I guess they need Jimmy buckets sooner rather than later because that was a rough beat tonight for the Warriors.
That was a horrible loss for the Warriors, just horrible. Yep. I don't even think we deserved to.
They were up 10 with what 2 minutes left.
They were up 11 with 3 minutes left.
Yeah. It's bad game.
It's bad.
All right. Anyway, this is the Super Bowl episode, so let's get on to the Super Bowl. So let's just start with our overall. Who's your pick for the game? What do you got?
Eagles money line. I think it's just good value. These teams are neck and neck. Coin flip, right? It's coin flip, and I'm just going to take the plus money on a coin flip. I really do believe it is a coin flip. And the Chiefs can have their, their magic, their voodoo, whatever. If you are a believer in conspiracies. The refs already got them to the Super Bowl. The ratings are going to be high. They don't need to help them anymore. Like, this is, if you are a believer in that. But
it's pretty funny how the refs had to come out with a statement about their refereeing. It's pretty bad. They're doing a bad job when they actually have to put a press release out there about, oh no, we're not boosting up the Chiefs.
On media day, all those media guys were asking them questions to Kelsey and Mahomes about the refs, and they just have to play it off like, I don't hear any of that. I don't know if I buy into that, but
no, I mean, they just get the benefit of the doubt. It's like any sport. Anybody that's a superstar, they're always going to get the call. It's not
especially just NBA too.
Yeah. So, a couple bad calls. That first down that the Bills had in that game was definitely, that changed the whole game. That was rough for the Bills, but yeah. Like the thing I hate is when you put in replay and the replay clearly shows something and then they still don't go with it. That's a problem I have with that.
Well, and the two different lines judges, one had them completely over and one didn't. So like, how does that work? Like, right. I don't know. I saw it better. So the replay had it, and the replay needs to get better. So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a tough look for Bills fans out there. I feel bad for Bills fans, and I'm not
a huge fan of tech, especially when we get to baseball season. We'll talk about that when, robot umpires. I'm not for that because it changes the game. But I mean, you could put a chip in the ball and just 10 yards. Like, that's the easiest thing. If it went 10, I mean, that's something that's a no-brainer for the NFL.
They do that in tennis. They do that in tennis with a tennis ball. So why can't they do that in football?
Yeah. Well, in case Brady's got the ball and he's deflating it over there a little bit or something like that.
Exactly. So there's cheating going on. It's just different cheating, right?
Yeah.
It's either the refs or Deflategate.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that would have made a difference in that game. So it sucks to see a playoff game of that magnitude to lose by that. But anyway. All right. So my pick in the game is the exact same thing as you. I got the Eagles. I think I've been saying this. I think the Chiefs have been getting lucky all year. I mean, they're a good team, but they seem like they're about to lose and they pull one out. It is a coin flip, like you said, but I also, even though the Eagles are getting 1.5, I would sprinkle the money line on that one. I'd hammer the money line on that. I think Eagles are going to win this game. I think they have a better offense right now. I think Hurts is going to be better. His knees had 2 weeks to rest. I just feel that they're going to win this game. Chiefs have been there before. They've got that experience, but I just feel like the Eagles have this one. And I don't like either team, but I'm going to go with the Eagles.
I feel like you speak for 90% of America. I think we do. I don't think anyone wants either of these teams to win, but definitely not the Chiefs. So
definitely not the Chiefs. Yeah, people get sick of them, but
unless you're a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, and I'm sure the cops in Philly, they don't really want to grease up the poles and have to deal with that, and the cars are going to get flipped over afterwards, but they're going to root for the Chiefs. But everybody else, I think, is on the Eagles except for New York Giants fans. So, all right, and shout out to my nephew Ryan, who got engaged this week. He's an Eagles fan, so we'll maybe give him a little early engagement present there.
That's good mojo. That's good mojo for the Eagles right there. Yeah, I like it.
There you go.
Hammer.
All right, so let's go on to our player props. Our player props for the Super Bowl. What you got?
I got 4 player props. First of all, Dallas Goedert, over 54.5 receiving yards. Chiefs are dead last to defending the tight end position. They are just Dalton Kincaid did not get there last week, but other than that, they've been giving up huge numbers to tight ends their whole season. Give me Goddard over 54.5 receiving yards. I think he came off a huge game against Commanders as well.
He did. That was one of my picks.
Jalen Hurts loves to go to him. It's a little security blanket. Give me Goddard as my first player prop. A second one is Saquon Barkley under 114.5 rushing yards.
He's been so close on like that number, but he's been under a couple times on that, right? That one game he just barely got it.
I saw a stat that The Chiefs have only given up a 100-yard rusher one time in the last 25 games. And that was to the Raiders back in 2023. But yeah, only one time they've given up a 100-yard rusher to a running back and a quarterback for that matter. But Saquon Barkley, under 114, I think he probably gets to 100. Who knows? He might go over. You could fade me. I've been horrible on my props. Not too confident in that one, but I'm just playing the percentages here. My third one is Patrick Mahomes over 5.5 rushing attempts. I think in the big game, he does it with his legs if he needs to. Also, you get those kneel downs at the end. I'm not saying they're going to win, but maybe before the half, you get a knee, or you get a situation where you want to put your field goal kicker into a better spot, so he takes the loss. Just 5.5 rushing attempts seems a little bit low. I see him rushing and taking, when Cooper DeJean and Darius Slay are blanketing their receivers, and he's got nowhere to go, so he just runs. I took his longest rushing attempt last week. Now we're going to do just rushing attempts. And my fourth player prop, and I kind of like this the most, is Travis Kelce over 65 receiving yards. Give me the tight ends, both the tight ends, to go over their receiving yards. Kelce is obviously his guy. Unless they double him a lot, then he might not get there. But a lot of these passes are just little security blanket passes, like Dallas Goedert was last week. Give me Kelce over 65 receiving yards. What do you got, Matt?
All right. We're always on opposite sides of Kelce. And I'm not quite opposite sides on the yards, but my first player prop is Kelce under 6 receptions.
Okay, we can thread the needle there.
Yeah, I think he might get the yards. Last time they did double him. He only got 15 yards. He didn't get a lot of catches. I think, a game like this, Mahomes is going to go to the security blanket. That's where he's going to go. But I just don't think he's going to go there 6 times. I even think Kelce might even get in the end zone for one. But I think under 6.
Under 6 or 6.5?
Under 6. So
under
5
6.
receptions. So I like that one. Next one, Xavier Worthy, over 56.5 receiving yards. He's been above that for the last 5 times in games. He seems to become a new favorite target for Mahomes. I like that for when they're stretching the field a little bit. He's the guy that they might go for. And then a kind of a weird one, and this goes back to last week. They had everybody in the box to stop Saquon, and he just kind of bounced out and he got that 60 yards. I have over 27.5 yards in the first 5 attempts. You get that on Prize Picks. Over 27.5 the first 5.
5 attempts for Saquon? Attempts.
Yeah. The guy, he's going to break one, right? He's absolutely going to break one in those first 5 attempts, because they're going to be pass, and all of a sudden they're going to be getting back into a soft zone, and he's going to get that 25 yards or get half of them right there. So he gets a couple 3-yard carries, and then he gets that big one, and you've covered that. So that's it's an interesting one. And then if I was going to go for a fourth, I'm with you on the Goddard pick. I think that's a pretty safe pick too. So yeah, that's the one we're together on. But those are my player props for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and the Chiefs have just been horrible against defending the tight end.
Yeah,
and Kincaid would have went over if he caught that pass.
Right.
He would have went over his rushing or his receiving prop.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Super Bowl special prop bets aside from player props. Lots of fun bets out there for degenerate gamblers like ourselves and the rest of America who really don't like either of these teams, but just want something to root for. Who do you have in this one?
For degenerate bets here, I'm putting the house on heads from the coin toss. No, I'm just kidding. I found this on DraftKings. Patrick Mahomes to have 25 yards passing, 25 passing yards each quarter. It's minus 130.
What's that payout? That seems like a pretty easy hit.
Yeah, it's minus 130. So you put up a 130 to win. Put up $13 to win 10. I feel like there's no way that doesn't hit, right? Unless they're blowing them out in the fourth and just running. Which
even if you're running though, those third downs, you get a couple third downs. Yeah.
I mean, if you get a 3 and out in the first quarter, and then the Eagles take a lot of clock, then I could see it not hitting. But it's Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. 25 yards each quarter, minus 130. I'm also going to throw in just a little.
I mean, you got 2 quarters guaranteed, right? Because they're getting the ball 2 quarters. So exactly. Yeah, I see that hitting for sure.
Yeah, that's why it's minus 130. But I also have another interesting little tidbit of information: is DeAndre Hopkins has the most targets since week 8, since he was acquired. He has 8 end zone targets. Sorry. Yeah, end zone targets, not red zone. End zone targets, which means that has to be in the end zone. The next closest is Kelsey and Gray with 5 targets each. Anyway, I think I'd like DeAndre Hopkins to maybe get 1 or 2 touchdowns here. It could be a long shot for 2 touchdowns, but just with that little bit of information that he receives a lot of end zone targets. Just keep that in mind.
I will keep that in mind, but I also remember that some of those targets sometimes go to Kelsey. And as I'm fading Kelsey, that's good bet for me. So under 6 bets to Kelsey, under 6 targets to Kelsey. Lock that one in, and they're all going to go to Hopkins. That's my pick.
Also, there's another one I just saw on DraftKings, plus 250 for a flea flicker. Any type of if your book offers these trick plays and a non-quarterback throwing touchdown, I would sprinkle some money on that because it's the Super Bowl, and you always see Philly when they won it in 2017 or 2018 with Nick Foles. The Philly special was born, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City uses the Philly special on Philly. Yeah,
I mean you can't do an onside kick surprise anymore, so it might as well be a flea flicker. So
yeah, flea flicker, any type of trick play. If your book offers that, I would take a flyer on that because it's usually plus money. Yeah.
All right. There you go.
There you go. What do you got?
I've got one of the most degenerate gambler bets of the Super Bowl, aside from the Taylor Swift sightings or the national anthem length or the coin flip. It'll be the end of the game, the Gatorade color. This is if you're sticking through the end. You've had a lot of beers. You're ready for some kind of payout. It's like you're watching the Hawaii game, chasing the dragon late night, and you just need to win on something. So this is when all your bets have lost, and you got to bet.
You lose. All your bets have lost.
All your bets are lost.
What color is that Gatorade?
You're going to bet on the Gatorade, right?
Hopefully we're not in that position, right?
Hopefully we're not. But so here's what we got. All right, I'm going to give you the odds right now. So here's the odds of the different Gatorade colors. So purple is +2. This is from FanDuel. Purple is +270. The lemon lime is +220, the original Gatorade color from us OGs out there. Mm-hmm. Orange, my most hated Gatorade flavor. But shout out to my friend Felix. He likes orange. That's +500. Red, pink. I don't know why red, pink is the same thing. They're 2 different things, but maybe there's the fruit punch, or maybe they just watered it down. Whatever. Is +700. Or if you're going water or clear, you don't want the sugar in there. You're just going for it's either the frost color or we're going straight water. It's +1,000. So I'm going to give you a little inside information here. So the Chiefs, their last 2 Super Bowl wins, you want to guess what color they had?
Blue.
The Chiefs had purple. Purple. So if you want to stick with the trend and you're a Chiefs fan, you would bet purple. But as you know, I am a Patriots fan. Patriots, the last 2 times they've won it. Actually, no, wait. Chiefs, 3 times ago, they went with orange. So Chiefs, purple or orange if you're going for the Chiefs. Patriots went blue for 2 of their last 3 times. So
you're my boy, Blue.
My boy, Blue.
You're my boy.
So I'm going with blue because I think the Eagles are going to win. We're going to honor the GOAT for when Brady beat the Chiefs. I'm going with blue for the Gatorade color for the Chasing the Dragon bet of the night.
And what odds did you get on blue? Because I might follow you on this.
On blue was, let me check the odds on that one. I believe it was, blue is plus 600. Plus 600. So I might throw something on there.
If my bets are losing, I might have to do a live plus
a live
600 bet.
Plus 600 just to win your money back on the Gatorade. There's also a couple, if I look back on the last 6 years, maybe 7 years, there were two teams that it was none. So I guess they didn't dump the Gatorade. So that's always the I mean, I don't know if that's a push, what the official rules would that would be, but
10-1 with the clear, the no sugar. That the no food dyes,
Yeah, you never know.
That seems like a juicy number too, 10-1. Just no food dyes because they're talking about how food dyes are really bad, and they are.
Yeah.
But with RFK,
the RFK prop would be the
theory. I mean,
if it gets confirmed, then you might want to go with the clear.
That's not bad. I might be a little. You're my boy Blue from old school.
Yeah.
And a little RFK for 10-1.
So I'll be wearing blue for next podcast. Once the blue Gatorade dumps out, that's going to be
You're gonna look like a Smurf.
Look like a Smurf for the next one.
By the way, what are you drinking over there? Are you celebrating your Blanton's?
So this is not
too early.
This is I wish this was Blanton's. I went and I was whiskey shopping and they had some clearance whiskeys on there, and it was a Broken Barrel it's at Kentucky, but it's actually from LA. But it's not great. It's a bourbon from LA. It's pretty weak, but it was a good price. So I had to go with that. But I just gotta get ready for the blends because it's gonna taste a little sweeter.
You're celebrating too early.
I also
you are in a commanding lead. So.
Yeah, I got my plane tickets for Kentucky for March Madness already, so I will be touring the Blanton's factory. I'll be looking at the barrels. I'll be saying that's the barrel I want my Blanton's out of. At the Buffalo Trace factory, or I think that's where they make it, the same place. But I'll look at that. I will be sure to take some pictures and put that on Insta and do a little taunting on that one. But
yeah, I'm sure you will.
But it's still early. So
I fired some. NCAA men's basketball futures. And I was looking at Kansas after they beat Iowa State. It was a big win for them because Iowa State just lost 3 in a row.
The overtime win, too, was brutal for them.
Dude, the Iowa State, the one when they lost to Arizona.
Yeah, overtime.
Caleb Love, 60-footer. I had Iowa State plus 2.5. It was one of the worst beats ever. But so, Iowa State coming off 2 losses, Kansas coming off 2 losses.
Bad losses, too.
Yeah. So, Kansas is going into the game. They're 6-4 going into the Big 12 game, and Iowa State's 7-3. So, now they're tied at 7-4. Iowa State, I thought, was like a juggernaut. They just got manhandled by Kansas. Your son Charlie was on ESPN. I'd seen him in the crowd.
He got in the crowd.
Yeah, he sticks out like a sore thumb. And I luckily was on the right side of that bet. I took Kansas because I was like, you told me Bill Self does not lose 2 in a row
after a loss.
I mean, especially when he's at home.
Big Monday, undefeated on Big Monday on ESPN.
Whoa,
undefeated.
Good knowledge. So I fired off some NCAA championship, just long shots. I took Creighton 66-1.
66. Creighton's on the bubble though. They'll get in, but they're a bubble team.
They beat Providence tonight. Okay, yep. They've been doing very strong. They're not going to be on the bubble. I think Ken Palm has them in the top 30. Illinois, I got them 40-1.
Illinois has been playing great. I like
Big 10 bet, another Big 10 bet. I got
Wisconsin.
Illinois,
I fade Illinois in March Madness all the time. Illinois they just don't perform in March Madness. But all right, okay, I'm with you there. They're playing well.
I love that. Who's that guy they had last year? Sharp, man, he was just a scorer. I don't know if his name is correct. I think he's in the G League NBA. I thought he was going to be a high pick. Anyways, I got another one. 100-1, Wisconsin. Just sprinkle a little money in Wisconsin because my buddy Ryan is a shout out Ryan, huge Badger fan, and Cody Feasel. One more I got. Illinois, Wisconsin, Creighton, Arkansas. Calipari.
Going with Coach Cal. I mean, how crazy was that when
100-1.
Coach Cal shows up at Kentucky
and
he gets booed. He gets booed at the homecoming, and he just curb stomps him. Right? He just blows him out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guess what? They were double-digit underdogs. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. They stayed away. I looked at that game. I was like, Arkansas's plus 10.5.
I tell you what, though, Kentucky has looked bad the last game. They were great. That's the problem when you get these teams that come in with just they haven't played together. Teams like that always do well because it's pure athletes. They'll do well at the beginning of the season. But then when you get teams that have been there together for a while and start gelling, they're just always going to beat them. Like that's why you see some of these upsets in March Madness because you just get better team ball. And when you just get pure athletes who are doing their own thing, just one and done players, which is usually a Coach Cal type MO. But yeah,
exactly.
They just didn't.
So yeah, Calipari.
But UK, I don't know. I don't know that UK is going to go far. Although I liked what they've done this year, and I think I told you I was at that game in Pittsburgh last year in March Madness. We saw Coach Cal's last game where they lost. Man, the whole crowd just turned on Kentucky.
They had all the physical talent too. They had all the physical talent, but they just had no awareness and IQ. Even Coach Calipari couldn't even coach them up. So who knows? But 100-1. I sprinkled some on Arkansas 100-1. So those are the
now's
four
the time
ones
to do it, right? Now's the time where teams that are struggling a little bit that are going to start going because they can go on a roll. There's still time. Texas Tech is looking good. I might sprinkle a little bit on Texas Tech.
Arizona maybe just
Arizona's having a good turnaround.
After they beat Iowa State, that could be a turning point for their season. You look at those games that are like huge. Iowa State was, ranked number 2 or 3. Like they were very strong going into that game, and they just got.
Auburn looks unstoppable, right? Auburn looks great. They've not slowed down, so that's a team to look at.